Getting boosted. Federal officials clear the way for you to get your COVID-19 vaccine booster shot.
It'll still be a little gusty for the evening. What the wind chills will be by morning.
And New York Live on the red carpet for the New York premiere of Ghostbusters Afterlife. Hey, what's up, friends? I'm Kay Ingram, and welcome back to another episode of News for Now for Friday, November 19th. Now, if you're looking to get your COVID booster shot, now you can. On Monday, New York City announced everyone 18 and up can get their Moderna or Pfizer booster. Now, the FDA and CDC is giving the go-ahead to do that nationwide. Some pharmacies in the city were waiting for the federal approval before giving boosters out to those without underlying health conditions. We got some mixed reactions from New Yorkers about it.
It's a little bit confusing because then how many more shots would we need? Will we need more booster shots in the future? So it's a little bit confusing.
I feel like it should be a choice of yours. If you get one or two and it's helping you, then you shouldn't be mandated to get all three of them.
At least you have extra protection. Yeah, and I feel safer with it. Whatever new they got out there to help us, it's better alive than dead.
The World Health Organization has criticized countries for rolling out third shots when people in poorer countries have limited access. People who received the single shot of Johnson & Johnson should get a booster 2 months later, and 6 months after second shots of Pfizer and Moderna. Whoa, imagine catching this in traffic. How is this even okay, right? Police are now searching for the person who fired shots from the sunroof of a vehicle on the Jackie Robinson Parkway. Investigators say it happened Thursday afternoon near exit 6. Luckily, no one was hurt, but still scary though. Now, I'm over here trying to figure out how this next one even happened. Apparently in Queens, 8 students were shocked by a taser when a group of teenagers threw one over a schoolyard fence. Police say they called the kids to the metal fence before deploying the taser. It happened at Ridgewood Schoolyard on DeKalb Avenue Thursday. Police say 5 boys and 3 girls, ages 8 and 9, were shocked when the taser made contact with the fence. Then the school went into lockdown.
They were calling me over. They hold my shirt, but they didn't really, because I hit their hand. They tell the kids to touch the fence, and then they get shocked.
So you saw them do this?
Yeah.
Police say a 15-year-old boy received a ticket for the incident. A second teen was not ticketed, and all of the kids are okay. Do you ever just feel like social media apps can, I don't know, feel like a lot? Well, attorney generals in New York and New Jersey have joined this nationwide coalition looking into the negative effects that Instagram can have on kids.
We're eager to see what the investigation shows. Again, this is the investigation stage, and if they are doing things to address these, we want to know what they believe that they've done, what the evidence shows, and what impacts it has.
Well, they're looking into the social media platform's parent company, Meta, which was formerly Facebook, if y'all remember, and how it promotes Instagram to kids. The investigation follows reports showing the company knew young people using Instagram could be at an increased risk of mental health and body image issues. In a statement, Meta calls the accusations false and say they demonstrate a, quote, deep misunderstanding of the facts.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Big changes from yesterday, right? Up near 70 degrees, starting off with evening temperatures in the low 40s, but we do have clear skies. They stay clear overnight. It will be a chilly one. One thing, if you do have some evening plans, count on a wind chill factor. Still a little gusty early on in the evening, but you can see it feeling like the 20s and 30s. Winds ease a little bit, and the actual temperature waking up tomorrow morning will be in the 20s and the 30s. 35 for the low in the city, 29 in Belmar. Will be close to freezing in Islip, below freezing in Bridgeport. North and west, definitely the lowest low temperatures. 27 in New Paltz with Woodridge at 24. Waking up in Claryville at 22 degrees. Peekskill at 30. This is the chilliest morning of the weekend. A little bit of a warm up ahead.
You know, you don't have to be super into movies to know that Ghostbusters is iconic. And New York Live hit up the red carpet premiere for the latest, much-anticipated sequel, Ghostbusters Afterlife. And this is not your parents' Ghostbusters. Check it out.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is finally here. The direct sequel to the originals from 1984 and 1989 is packed with fan nostalgia, plus a fresh perspective for a new generation.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s, it's like The Walking Dead.
My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
It has a gunner seat?
Excited to see all the Ghostbusters back together. What was it like for you to be back on set with everybody?
You know, it was like a spiritual experience. I mean, this movie's been such a big part of my life for so many years. And seeing Bill and Danny and Sigourney and Annie and this new cast that's amazing, Paul Rudd, it was just really very, very special.
Congratulations. What was it about this script that got you to come back?
Well, I thought it was, you know, it had a heart to it. This script had a heart to it. And the director is the son of the original director, of course, and he felt there was a story that needed to be told because he knew all of us. You know, he knew the history of it, and he'd had that vision for a long time. He said, you know, I've been wanting to write this story for a long time. What do you think? And we all liked it, so there we go.
Well, it's wonderful.
You've already seen it?
I have. It's so good. What was it like playing opposite the sexiest man alive?
Well, I'd like to point out that he wasn't the sexiest man alive then, so it wasn't as overwhelming.
What was it like being on set with all of the original Ghostbusters?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, for somebody like me, some kind of young, pimply kid who just, wow, I love comedy, and those are my heroes. To even, you know, breathe the air that they're like, it's so nuts.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is exclusively in theaters November 19th.
Now, there is nothing easy about losing a loved one. And imagine that after all the tears, the funeral, you learn that your loved one who you thought you buried was actually switched with someone else. It feels unfathomable, but this happened with a real family on Long Island. News 4's Paisy Chang caught up with them to find out what it is they plan to do next. Check it out.
We trusted him to do the right thing.
Ishmael Williams and Salima Lee can't believe what happened to their mother.
Everybody thought that she was buried. She was loved by everybody. This should not even have happened to her.
87-year-old Sadie Williams lost her battle with COVID. A traditional Islamic burial means the family had 72 hours to lay her to rest. They hired Haskell Funeral Services in Amityville, who handled their father's funeral 3 years ago. The night before her service, Salima sensed something was wrong.
I looked at him and I said, "That's not my mother." He said, "Of course it is." And so I walked down the steps and I got closer and I looked and I said, "This is not my mother, and why is she wearing a child's watch?" And then I said, "This is not her arm." I said, "Her arm, she had like a burn mark on her arm. This is not her arm."
Even though Salima and her 10 siblings thought things didn't add up, they say the funeral homeowner insisted it was her.
He says, "Well, the embalming fluid smooths out the wrinkles and everything."
The other woman who he had prepared for the funeral was in her 50s, but it wasn't until after the burial that Salima got the call.
He says, "I have some bad news to tell you. The body wasn't your mom's."
Furious, Salima recorded her next conversation with the funeral home owner. He told her Sadie was actually at the funeral home the entire time, and he needed to notify the other family about the mistake.
So now I have to let that other family know the same thing, that their mother is there.
Before they could exhume the wrong body from the family grave, they needed signatures from all 11 of Sadie's children, which meant she wasn't buried until nearly 3 weeks after her death, which is not in accordance with Muslim law.
You just would have checked. I mean, your ego has to be so big that you don't think you can possibly make a mistake. He has to be a narcissist.
The Williams family is now suing the funeral home. They filed court papers today. They say this could have all been avoided.
If a family members say, "Okay, fine," no, that doesn't look like her. It takes 2 seconds to walk downstairs and say, "Okay, fine," you know, maybe that's not her.
Now, we did speak to the funeral home owner. He did not dispute what was alleged in the story, but he said that on advice of counsel, he has no comment. Reporting from Amityville, Paisley Cheng, News 4 New York.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of News 4 Now. I'm Kay Ingram. See you next time.